Good morning. It is Thursday, April 6th. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sharday Campbell, the Strategic Enrollment and Communications and Social Media Manager here at Houston Community College. Happy to be joined by my biweekly co-host, Parrish Murphy. Good morning, Parrish.
How are you?
Good.
How's everything? You look familiar. I hadn't seen you in a while.
I know. It's
your bi-weekly.
You
know what? That's education right there. My bi-weekly host.
I thought I'd spice it up a little bit, and now I describe why we haven't seen you in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, last week I did it. You were off because Todd was doing the show.
So, absolutely. Yeah. So we even skipped some more weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Band's back together. It's a wonderful thing. Great to be here with you.
Absolutely. Well, for those who may have been out from watching the show a while as well, remind them how they can find us on social media.
We are live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, on the District Facebook page. And we're on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Awesome. Well, what we do most Thursdays here on Up to the Minute, it is Family Fun Day. We'll learn how this group can have some fun and games, as well as awareness about the neurodegenerative disease. Kathleen from the Houston Area Parkinson's Society, who is the executive director there, Kathleen Chris, will be joining us as our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. Welcome to the show, Kathleen.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. You and Parrish are going to have a great conversation in just a second. But first, we are going to kick things off because April, with the month of the military child, So April is the month of the military child. So we are happy to have a host of a special division today. Our veteran military affiliated student services department is here to join us. And from that department, we have Courtney Godot, who is the school certifying official for our veteran and military affiliated student success department. Welcome to the show, Courtney.
Hi, Sharday. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you. I mean, I think a lot of people know most of the military holidays, but this one is a little unknown one. So happy to have you on the show to talk about it, because most people associate veteran departments with just the veteran, but HCC was very intentional about putting in the full name, those who are also military affiliated student success. So this particular holiday makes absolute sense for you all to be commemorating in the department. And as we said, it's the month of the military child. So let's begin with, kicking things off with sharing what educational benefits are available for the children of veterans.
So you think military benefits, it's not just for the veterans themselves, but also for their families. And children, they sacrifice a lot too, a lot of missed birthdays, holidays, you name it. So to honor them, we offer Chapter 35 dependent benefits if the parent or the military member is 100% totally and permanently disabled. They are allowed a monthly stipend to attend school. Very easy to apply. All you need is one document to show us, and boom, you're in the system getting your benefits. Another benefit we have is the GI Bill. Now, typically, the GI Bill is exclusively for the veterans, but the veteran parent does have the option to transfer it to a child while they're still in the service as active duty. So if you transfer it to your child's name, your child is eligible for a basic housing allowance, which they'll receive a monthly stipend just to go toward living expenses. Their tuition and fees will be paid for in full, depending on the parent's percentage. And then they will also get a book stipend. So that's the most lucrative benefit. So if you are still in the service out there and you've got some kids at home that want to go to college and you would like to share the wealth, consider transferring some of that GI Bill eligibility to their name. And then lastly, we have the Hazelwood benefit in the great state of Texas. If you're a Texas veteran who either entered the military, exited the military, had a home of record in Texas, you served for at least 181 days of consecutive service, you might be entitled for Hazelwood. Now, Hazelwood doesn't pay you any money physically. However, it does waive tuition and fees. So essentially, you can go to school for free. All you need to pay for is your books and supplies, and that's a considerable benefit. So if you are the veteran and you're 100% totally and permanently disabled on your disability rating letter, then your child will have their own set of 150 hours to contribute toward a free education and won't have to share it with you. But if you do not have a disability rating of 100%, it's less, or you don't have a disability rating at all, then you are granted 150 hours and you can share those 150 hours with your child. So we've got 3 good options to offer them.
You know, you better teach, Courtney. I'm telling you, because like I've taken a look at a lot of content, and you're working in enrollment. I've had to, include content around what veterans need to know to enroll, and you just broke it down so seamlessly. Now, I do have one follow-up question. Can these benefits be used together, or are they things that you can only, like if you get Hazelwood, you can also get another benefit as well?
Correct. That's a really good question. And a lot of students don't know this prior to coming to our office. So if your parent is a Texas veteran eligible for Hazelwood, and they are also at the 100% disability rating level, you can use both 35 and Hazelwood together, meaning your tuition and fees will be waived and you'll get a monthly monetary stipend. And then in the case where your parent transfers their GI eligibility to you and it's less than 100%, let's say it's only 80%. If they're eligible for Hazelwood as well, you can stack the 33 post 9/11 GI Bill with the Hazelwood also.
And so what that sounds like is that our veteran and military affiliated students need to get in and talk to somebody, because everyone's situation is going to be a little bit differently. I started off in financial aid, and I think a lot of students want answers that, like, just tell me the answer. And it's like, well, it depends.
Yes, it depends. It's very nuanced.
Yes, very nuanced. But you all are here to help. And, one thing that we have to consistently tell is, like, get that started early, because some of the benefits kick in. You have to enroll first for them to know how much of the benefits you're going to use, because some of them only cover the exact cost of tuition and fees. So that's why they need to go ahead and not only enroll early, which is a shameless plug for priority enrollment that is happening starting next week for our veterans. That's why it's the benefit of getting enrolled early, so they can work with you all to make sure that they get all of their eligible benefits.
Yes, I agree.
And I guess that leads us to, what are some of the Veteran Resource Center locations? How can students connect with the department, both virtually and in person?
So we have 4 different locations that house the VMAS department. We always say VMAS because Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success is a mouthful. So we have 4 VMAS resource centers located throughout the HCC campuses. The main hub is at Central. We're located at 1215 Holman, right across from the Learning Hub. And there we have a computer lab. We have support staff there to answer questions. We also have another location very similar in size and capabilities at the Southeast campus off of Rustic. Then we have 2 smaller facilities where there will be a veteran representative, at least 2 there, at the A-Leaf campus at Hayes and Cash Road, I believe, and then the 4th one at Stafford campus. So awesome. We've got 4 different locations depending on where you live in the city.
Awesome. And I think you all do provide support in the virtual lobby as well. This was such a good conversation. I think I want to end with, what are some things that you wish veterans knew, veteran and military affiliated students, before they start the process? Or think about it from the lens of the things that you have to students are consistently surprised to hear from you.
So every semester we host an information session. It is right before the first start of school, so regular term classes. It's right before that first regular term, and then we host another one that occurs right before the second starts. So it is very important that students are showing up for these information sessions if they're using veteran benefits or interested in doing so. There's so much information, and like you said, things are very nuanced. So this is the perfect time to learn about everything our office does, everything that they're entitled to, and asking their specific questions to us. It's a whole team of staff members there, from the director down to work studies. So it is the perfect one-stop shop to get all your questions and concerns taken care of. So look out for our information sessions at the beginning of the semester.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. It's been an absolute pleasure to just learn more about not only the commemoration of this holiday, but what our BMAS department is doing to serve our students. If you are just tuning in, we've been speaking with Courtney Godot. She is the school certifying official for the Veteran and Military Affiliated Student Success Department, better known as BMAS, here at HCC. We'll have information and details about how to connect with the department after the show. Thank you so much for joining us, Courtney.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
All right, Parrish, I'm going to kick it over to you and your guest.
Well, thank you, Ms. Campbell. You know, Parkinson's disease is a disorder of the central nervous system that actually affects a whole bunch of people. It includes movement problems. It also includes tremors. Just to put a face on the disease, you might know some popular people that actually might have been diagnosed with Parkinson's. People like Robin Williams, Jesse Jackson, Pope John Paul II, Michael J. Fox, Ozzy Osbourne, President George H.W. Bush, Billy Graham, Neil Diamond, and the great Muhammad Ali. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Kathleen Christ. She is executive director of the Houston Area Parkinson's Society and our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. Kathleen, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Good to have you. Now, before we get started, can you give me a brief description of just exactly what is known about Parkinson's disease?
Well, you know, amazingly, this disease was first described way back in 1817. So we're going on 200 plus years of our understanding. It's the most, it's the most common form of neurological condition called a movement disorder. We know that this primarily, impacts roughly about 1 million people in the United States, about 7 million people worldwide. It is the fastest growing neurological condition in the world at the moment and one of the leading causes of disability. But we also know that there are lots of treatment options. Everyone is affected very differently, and it's a slow progressing disorder. So it's not like other neurological conditions that we might be more familiar with, which shorten life expectancy. This does not. So in certain cases, we're managing the disease over many decades.
Great. Now, I'm just curious, what causes to affect that many people? What causes Parkinson's disease? Is it something that's hereditary? Is it something that you can contract through the environment? How exactly do you get it?
Yes and yes. So it looks like we don't exactly know precisely what causes it. Research and science is showing us more and more that it is, possibly genetically related. That doesn't necessarily mean inherited, but a combination of genetics and toxin exposure or environmental factors. So environmental factors can include exposure to pesticides, herbicides. It can also include head injury, that type of thing.
Wow. So how do you treat Parkinson's disease?
Well, we're very fortunate that we have a multitude of medications. So there's no one size fits all approach to management. Like I said, it's something that has to be managed in many cases over decades. And so we have a lot of medication options where they can change, how many medications a person is on. They can change the frequency of the dose, the amount of the dose. And then now we also have surgical interventions. So deep brain stimulation is one, and focused ultrasound for people who are tremor predominant, for others. So we have a pretty vast array of treatment options depending on the individual, what symptoms they're experiencing, and what they might respond to best.
Great. Now, your organization, the Houston Area Parkinson's Society, I want to talk a little bit about the services that you guys offer to people that have Parkinson's.
Okay. Yes. Well, we are the only Parkinson's organization in the 8-county area serving individuals with Parkinson's. We are a social service organization, and we're independent and local. So we're not affiliated with any of the national groups. We focus all of our services for individuals and families who have Parkinson's and related disorders. But primarily, we break our programs down into social services, where we have social workers who work with families and individuals. We have some transportation. We have some respite care. We have emergency funds. We also have a big group of exercise programs, what we call our therapeutic exercise programs that we offer. And this includes things like Tai Chi, yoga. We have a new ping pong class. We have a partnership with Houston Ballet, and we do a Dance for Parkinson's class every week. We have traditional exercise, we have water therapy, we have speech therapy. So we come at this from a variety of different ways, because what I didn't mention and should have is that exercise is another kind of option for treatment. We know that slows the progression of the disease. And so exercise is an important component for individuals to work in. And we have support groups. We have enrichment programs and fun things that we try to do with individuals and families, because we can be serious and we can tackle, tough topics, but we know that there's also a lot of life to live with Parkinson's. And so we want to make sure that people are enjoying activities and being a part of a community that really embraces their needs. And then we have a lot of education programs, and that's different depending on the individual. Some of those are specific for newly diagnosed people. Some of them are specific for caregivers. And then some of them are just general population programs.
Looking at your photos, it looks like you guys have a lot of fun events. It really looks like you get the people active, and you guys really have a lot of fun. I was kind of doing some research, and about over 50,000 people in Texas are diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. I'm wondering, is there a specific geography where you find more people in certain areas, or is it just something that just kind of happens and we're still the symptoms are still up in the air?
Yes, so an interesting study was released at the end of last year that changed our incidence numbers significantly. So we were thinking that there were about 60,000 Americans diagnosed every year. We now know that that's closer to 90,000. And in this incidence study, they really looked at where people were populated. And so kind of this rim of Texas down in the valley and up here in this very industrial area, where we, have a lot of exposure to industry, in our area, there tend to be a higher concentrated number of people with Parkinson's there. So roughly 50,000 people in the state of Texas, maybe somewhere around 20,000 of those are in our greater Houston area.
Wow. Now, is there a cure for Parkinson's disease?
There's not. The best we've got is, treatment, medications, surgical interventions, exercise, and, trying to find ways, good mental health ways of coping and living with the disease.
Now, does it affect women more than men, or men more than women, or do we know?
Yeah, it actually affects men a little bit more than women, but not by a huge percentage. So the difference is slight, but it does affect more men than it affects women. It affects more Caucasians than individuals of color. So it's that's kind of a growing area. Although women do present a little bit different than men, and so they're often a little bit delayed in diagnosis. Or misdiagnosed initially as something else.
Great. Now, again, do you guys have anything coming up that you can tell the people about? Any type of events?
Yes, we do. So next Tuesday, we have a webinar with a movement disorder specialist who's going to kind of give us the history of Parkinson's. So April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. April 11th, which is when this program is World Parkinson's Day. So we've got that fun webinar that's going to, I think, will be very interesting to learn about, kind of when Parkinson's started and the evolution of our understanding. And then next Saturday, the 15th, we have a fun tie-dye event. Tie-dye has nothing to do with Parkinson's, but we kind of take this peace, love, and happiness, kind of a play on our name approach. And so we're just bringing our community together to meet up and talk and have some fellowship and to do this fun tie-dye event where everyone gets a t-shirt and they can create it and then help us, raise awareness, spread the word, not only about Parkinson's, but also about our organization and how we can help. All of our services are free of charge. So there's no strings attached in any way. We're just here to serve the community.
That is awesome. You guys are really doing some really, really wonderful work. Thank you so much for being our guest today, Kathleen. We really appreciate it. Her name is Kathleen Christ. She is Executive Director of the Houston Area Parkinson's Society and our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. We'll have more information on this in our post after the show. Thank you so much, Kathleen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and have a great weekend.
Absolutely. You as well.
Right.
Miss Campbell.
Yes.
How are you?
Great interview.
Feels like it's been too long. It feels like I haven't seen you in months.
I know. Such a good interview, though. Hard topic, but
very hard. But, they're the people there in that society. We've interviewed also Francesca, who works there as well, and they're always very informative. And and I like information. The biggest thing that can kill you is what you don't know. So it's always good. And they have a really, really great system and events that they put on, to help people,
Yeah, absolutely. I think going through something like that is, you feel alone, but you also feel uninformed. You realize at that very moment, I know nothing about what I'm about to face right now. So definitely needed information. And on par with some other things we need to inform our community about, with how we always wrap out this good old episode with announcements about what's happening at HCC. I'll kick things off with, we'll have an Easter eggs on the Eastside free community hunt today. Don't miss out on the fun in the free community Easter egg hunt at HCC's Eastside campus. There will be food, fun, music, and even a bicycle raffle. It'll be happening from 6 to 8:30 p.m. today, April 6th, at the Learning Hub at our Eastside campus. We'll have a link to register posted after the show.
And also, we have an Eastside Career Fair with Councilman Robert Galeos. It happens at HCC Southeast, and it is being hosted by, it's hosting the upcoming Career Fair presented by HCC Eastside Campus and the office of Councilman Robert Galeos. It happens 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thursday, April 13th at HCC Eastside Learning Hub. And we'll have a link to register in our post after the show.
All right. Well, it is also Financial Literacy Month this April, and our Northwest Student Life will be offering a lineup of events to help you create a budget, manage your money, maintain a good credit score, create a plan of action to reduce debt, and more. So this will be hosted in conjunction with Houston Money Week from 10 a.m. to noon on April 13th, in person at our HCC Stafford Learning Hub. And I just think it's always a good time to learn tips about how to manage your finances better. So be sure to check that event out. A link to register will be posted after the show.
They need to teach that in high school. That is so necessary.
I'm telling you, it's tax season too. Why do I still, at my big age, have no clue?
Exactly. Also, we have a small business success series, and it happens at HCC Northwest Center, is continuing its in-person workshops with faculty, business experts, and peer delegates with Ignite the Entrepreneur in You. That happens 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday, April the 14th. And also Financials for Small Business Launch and Growth. That happens 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Friday, April the 21st. Find out more details and register and check out our post after the show.
All right. Well, we have a spring drama department production coming up. It's called Holier Than Thou. And we're approaching what is considered a holy holiday for many, Good Friday and Easter. So what happens when people stop being nice and start being holy? That is the theme of the production. It'll be happening on Saturday from Thursday to Saturday, April 13th through the 15th at 7:30 p.m. and Monday, April 17th, all free. It'll be happening at HCC's Stafford Fine Arts Center at the Corley Black Box Theater. Registration is encouraged, and info about how to attend will be posted after the show.
Summer registration is now open. Summer registration has already begun, so it's time to get in gear and register. All courses offer in-person and online options. Online anytime, online on the schedule, hybrid as well as in-person classes and hybrid lab. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply. That is hccs.edu/apply. Coming up, Ms. Campbell.
Yes. Well, unofficial last announcement, the institution will be closed for the spring holiday, and that is tomorrow. So the institution will be closed. So after the holiday, what you can expect from Up to the Minute will return with Mental Health Monday, as well as a special segment of Tasty Tuesdays, because there will be no Up to the Minute a couple days next week as we prepare for HCC's State of the College. And of course, there will be no classes or work or Up to the Minute tomorrow, as shared earlier. So be sure to tune in as we work through a series of observations and other big events happening at the institution. But as always, we thank you so much for joining us on Up to the Minute, and we'll see you next time.